today's going to be a nice cloudy day, so I actually moved them outside to the grow tent. Hello, howdy, and welcome back to another grow update. I'm Catherine, the Aerogarden Homesteader. So this update is probably going to be a little out of order just because, well, as you can see, my peas got quite big, and today's going to be a nice cloudy day, so I actually moved them outside to the grow tent, which I don't know how well it'll keep them insulated at night because there's no heat in here, although I have dirt, which could act as a insulating layer a little bit, but I wanted to start getting them acclimated. We are past kind of our worst cold spell that we've had recently, and I want to get them acclimating. So, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, they are quite tall. So, talking 5 to 6 inches for some of these. There are a few that are still coming up, although I think this one, I think we only had 2 of the 3 come up, which is fine. So, what I would like to do is get these started to acclimate. A cloudy day is the best day to acclimate them. So what I thought I would do is I would leave them out here during the day. If the temperature's going to drop down too much overnight, I thought I would bring them in just for the night and then put them back out the next day to keep acclimating them. Any day where I feel like the temperature's not going to go too far below freezing, you know, I mean like 30's probably fine. I can put them on the ground. I got some mulch down here that'll help insulate it a little bit. I will leave them out. So I'll just have to play the weather by ear. This is just one of those times where, you know, as a gardener, you just have to watch the weather pretty constantly. So we are preparing a raised bed. That's actually what that big white patch is. It's a fleece layer that we put down in a raised bed. We're trying to keep the soil somewhat workable because we need to add more dirt to it, and we need to mix it up a little bit before putting the mulch down on top. So got a bunch of topsoil, some manure mix. We got mulch already out there in a pile waiting. So this is part of the update. I'm filming this. This is probably about 5 days after I filmed the other update, so you can see just how much these seedlings have grown. Kind of hoping I can leave these out here for about a week, maybe. I'll have to check the weather. But then I want to try to get them in the ground. So part of that is going to depend on how workable the ground is and how big these get. So if these start getting really big that they're flopping over, I will have to just put them in the ground no matter what. So, and if the temperature continues as it is, where it's not getting too low at night, I might start bringing out other seedlings. The onions should be able to handle chilly temperatures, so I can bring those out. And I do have, I didn't mention this before, but I have garlic in the fridge. I'm trying to vernalize that. And I have my chive seeds are also in the fridge. I'm trying to get those prepared so that they'll sprout. There are certain seeds that do better with a cold snap. So I've had the chive seeds in the fridge. It's not quite been a week, I think, so I'll give them a little bit longer. The garlic's been in the fridge for almost 2 weeks, so I am going to probably put those in the ground soon. That's actually why I'm trying to keep this patch workable. And I should be able to hopefully put them in the ground around the edges, is what I was planning. Because I'm going to have tomatoes go down the middle, and then various other things scattered around. So we will see. But this is the mini update for now. I will add to this update in a couple days' time, so that it'll be the rest of the update. And I will also give you an idea of how these are doing outside, and if I've had to bring them in or not. I suspect I will need to bring them in, because tomorrow night's low is going to be really low. So, and just to let you know, this is the temperature. Got down to about 17 last night. We are up to 33. This is in the greenhouse itself. I don't actually have the outdoor temperatures, because the other thermometer, it's got a sticky tab. It jumped off the window and broke. So that's, yeah, not good. We need another thermometer. We actually need one of those ones with stations so that we can check different areas, but yeah. And on to the rest of the plant update. So, still about the same size, but it does seem like it gets bigger every day or every week. And then this one, which I don't know if I'll be able to get in there, but it's hard to tell if it's curling over or not. I'll let it go. This pepper plant is starting to look a little bit better. There's a little bit of new growth in here, but I don't know. It just doesn't look healthy overall. It still has a nice pepper in there, which finally turned yellow. These ones turn red. This one has got like just a ton of new growth, new flowers. It just looks awesome. So it is doing wonderful with the extra food. Look at that, it's just huge. It has been losing some of the old leaves, but That's perfectly fine given how much new growth is pushed out. I think I have this light up as high as it'll go, so that's all the room it's getting. Over to the tomatoes. They are looking pretty good. They are actually pushing out new growth again. I don't know if you can hear. Let me point out right here. I can see there's this little sprout coming off. It's pushing out new growth. So, but I will probably be taking these down sometime this week, I think, because the tomatoes, most of them are looking pretty good. I think there's only about 3 or 4 green ones on here, so I'll just counter ripen those. I might leave the jalapeno a little longer. Most of them are getting pretty red. I think there's, I don't know if you can see it, there's one green one in there still. Another little tiny green one behind it. The green one there. So there's a few green ones still, but for the most part they're all getting red. I was thinking of waiting until they all got red and then doing a cowboy candy with red jalapenos. I will probably also take down this tomato as well. But as you can see, it is also pushing out new growth. So, in theory, if you're doing tomatoes, you could hack them off right down near the base and then just let them push out new growth again and get a new plant. Or, you could take off some of this new side growth that's going, put it in a cup of water and root it, or, I mean, just toss it directly in one of the holes in the Aerogarden, same thing, and let it root and have a new plant. So, this one's looking pretty good. It is pushing out a lot of new growth that I just pruned back. See, look, right here. New growth. This whole branch is new growth. So, tomatoes are pretty hardy sometimes. These are doing pretty good. I've got a couple of new little peppers. This is the Pretty and Sweet. So, lots of new growth, although the tomato's kind of pushing its way in. And then this was the snacking pepper, I believe. No, wait, that one's part of the Pretty and Sweet. This one back here is the snacking pepper. Nice, thick, bushy growth. It's just incredible. But, you know, I don't know if this will show up on camera. All in the back there, I can see little webs. So, it's definitely spider mites. So, which is a shame. And then this one down here. So, I got that little cherry tomato back there. But look at all the growth on this pepper plant. It would be nice if I could get it to limp along a little further and then maybe put it in a pot and see if I can get it outside. Some of these bigger ones, so I don't know if any of these will transition outside because they're just so big. And I mean, I guess I could prune them back hard and see if they push out new growth, but this one's still pretty small. It might be able to handle it. But we'll see. We'll see how long it lasts because I kind of need the space. Okay, I have a shelf down here that's got more space, so I've got the light set a little higher. And I moved the onions down here because of, well, 2 reasons. I needed space up top that was closer to the light, and they were kind of all leaning to the side. I don't know if you can see, this isn't so bad anymore, but they're all kind of growing off at an angle, and I think it was because the fan kept pushing them in one direction. So down here they've got a little bit more room, the light's a little higher, so they should start stretching for the light a bit and, you know, correct the angle. The light also has to be higher because of the asparagus, which is doing great except for those 2 yellow ones. They're still kind of looking poorly. But you know what? If I lose 2, I lose 2. I've got quite a few of them came up and they're all looking really good. So I do think I need to start thinking about splitting those in the near future. These are the Romas. I moved them down here so they would get a little bit more light, even though it is a little further away, because the trays, I have to put them this long way so that they go under the light better and get full coverage. Well, it was kind of in a tray facing the other direction, and it was hanging off away from the light, and they were starting to bend towards the light a little. So I just had to take them out of the tray. So as you can see, this tray, the ones on the end here are not getting light, and then look, these ones are kind of leaning towards the light. So I will have to try to figure something out for these ones. These are the peppers. They are all looking really good. I'm probably going to have to, except for this one. This one, for some strange reason, I think the tray underneath curves up, and it was in a corner that wasn't getting water. So this one may not do well, just because it went without water for a while, but I've got plenty of other ones. So I'm not, it's annoying, but I'm not too concerned. These are tomatoes. I've tried to, see there's a row in the back with nothing, so that sort of gave me a little bit more room to push these towards the light, but you know, they're still kind of leaning a little bit. And then this one is going in the correct direction, and that's where the romas are. So see, it's hanging kind of off the end of the light. So these ones might start stretching a little bit towards the light, but the rest of them are doing really good. This is all beefsteak. So again, these are going to have to get transplanted soon, not up-potted. Rosemary still looks the same. I don't feel like these are doing any better. The chive actually looks the same. Strawberries back there look the same. Let's see, over here, this is the mixed tray. So ground cherries are the first row. I don't see any growth. The second one's cauliflower, or the second and third. So I do have some cauliflower. I've got broccoli. So these two rows are broccoli with the sort of rounded leaves. Come on the other side of the pole. This is alyssum. These two here are alyssum. And then I have these two are zinnia. This one is, the one that's really super thick is marigold. And then I've got these two here are basil. Basil's looking great. So I got lots of basil coming up. And then this tray here is all Roma. So it is also looking really good. Those were good fresh seeds compared to the older ones there. So what I'm probably going to do, and I don't know if I'll do it today, but whatever day I do it on, I'll definitely bring you along, is in this tray here with the broccoli and the cauliflower, I am going to probably try to get this out and up-pot these into another tray so that I can put them outside and start acclimating them. They will go and join the peas out in the grow tent. The temperatures at night have been getting down into the high 20s, low 30s. So we're kind of hovering around the freezing mark, and I feel like these are cold weather crops, they should be able to handle it. So I will try to get that going and hopefully do it soon. So I don't know if I'll be able to do all the cauliflower because see, some of these still have the seed coat on it, and I don't know. If they end up breaking off, then it's not worth doing it, but maybe I'll try to do some of these other ones. And I would like to, I actually realized I didn't start any cabbage, so I should probably start some cabbage, and I have a list of a couple of seeds that I wanted to get going on, so that'll probably be a later on today. But this is how everything in the actual grow room is doing. I will show you the peas. They've been out in the grow tent for a couple of days now. And I'll show you how they're doing. Well, welcome to my outdoor potting station. It's a bit of a mess. It's also under the deck, so the lighting is going to be really inconsistent. But I brought down the broccoli. We're going to just do the broccoli today. I'm going to give the cauliflower a little more chance to grow a little bit bigger, but in the meantime, this is what we're working on. I might need fingers for this, I'm not sure. So I have a spoon. I'm just going to carefully dig them out. Maybe I will use the other end of the spoon. So the key is trying to get them out without, number one, destroying the roots, and number two, not destroying the cell it came out of. So put this off to the side. I just need to gently tease them apart. Now obviously if you don't really care about pruning or thinning, then you can just obviously thin them, but I wanted to get a bunch of plants, but I don't have a bunch of space to grow seedlings, so this is kind of the better way to go for me. Hopefully I got enough little pots here for all of the seeds that have sprouted. Now I did have some duds, so I don't know if you can see. That one didn't really do much. Can't even see the screen on my camera. It's so bright out. See this one I don't know if it will make it or not. I might just actually put it in with that other one. I guess we'll see. And this one is basically by itself, so let's see if I can just drop that right in there. And it's just a matter of making sure it stands upright. Which this one is being finicky. Okay, well, I'll futz with it later. I want to get all of these out and then get them all in. Because I don't think you can really see what I'm doing. that for now. I suspect I don't have enough pots. Let's see if we can get some of these in here and upright. So you just make a hole, poke it in there, and then fill it back around. These gloves are way too big. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you just need to use your hands. There we go. This one has a lot of roots. One. Got roots everywhere, got dirt everywhere. There you go, that's standing up better. So I have another one in here that didn't really make it either. This is basically it. I'm just going to separate these into their own little pots, and I will put them in the greenhouse. Hopefully the sun won't be out for too long today, otherwise I'll have to shade them. So right now, since they're still pretty young, they do have their true leaves just starting. So they might be okay with the sun, they might not. It just kind of depends. Once they get the true leaves and they've been growing indoors, that's kind of when you want to protect them from the sun. But if they don't have their true leaves yet, then you should be okay just putting them in full sun because, well, if you think about it, if you'd thrown the seeds in the garden, and they would have come up with the sun. So they should hopefully be okay. This one's not going in very well. There we go. Okay, well, if you want to know how I make my potting soil, I showed that in the last video where I was doing seedlings, so I will make sure to link that so you can go check it out. It's just how I do mine. You just find a recipe that you like, that you can get the ingredients for relatively cheap, and go with it. And here they are, transferred and all settled. For the most part I have one in each, but there's a couple where I have two. This one's got a bunch of the little ones. There's one over here as well. It has a bunch of little ones. And I did end up with a few in cups. So not too bad. It's a decent number that all germinated, given that I did plant quite a few. And they are going to live out here. It's not going to get too cold overnight, so hopefully I won't have to bring these all in because that could be a major space issue. And right now the greenhouse, or the grow tent, or whatever we're calling it, has been opened up because the temperature is now up to 58 inside the grow tent. But it is cool and windy outside, so I don't think it's actually 58 outside. And I hope you are growing along with me and joining me on this garden journey this year. If you liked this video and you found it useful, please like and share so other people can also find this video. And I hope I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.